You got to do the sit and bitch song.
I mean, he plays that automatically anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, you need like a little something before it.
What do you mean?
Hey, how you doing?
We need to pre-record. Oh.
No, it's just like, talk about whatever, and then I'll slip it in somehow, and then you come back, and it's like, oh, hi.
Oh.
Welcome.
Okay, so what the fuck are we going to say?
Well, he could have been recording this entire time.
I am recording. This is all. This is like where I'm gonna put it in.
Okay.
You wanna sit and bitch? Then have a seat on Sit Bitch. Bitch.
And then we'd be coming back like right now.
Okay, there we go.
Well,
Fair
hi.
enough. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Sitting Bitch.
We're back.
Carly was on
Sorry
hiatus.
Yeah, we were
got her
not
face
able
split
to
open.
film last week.
Carly
because-
actually died.
Yeah.
I was gonna write you out anyway. It was like,
Yeah.
it was like due to the delay, Carly actually passed away, and we were looking for someone to fill her role.
We need somebody to fill the bitch.
I can't
role.
bitch by myself. Fair enough. But no, yeah, we're back,
We are back.
and we're gonna actually bitch.
We are gonna bitch.
What we're gonna bitch about today?
I think we're gonna cover some hot topics in today's news cycle.
There's a lot of shit that's been going on.
I mean, I think the waters have calmed now just a little bit,
Just
which
a
I think
bit.
is a nice time to talk about it because when everybody's emotions are running wild,
Yeah.
you
Everyone's
have
like,
tunnel vision or you don't even want to hear a conversation about it because
Yeah.
you've been bombarded with it.
I was glamored by the whole inauguration. I can give you that. Like, I'm just like, oh, this is so beautiful. But then back in my head, I'm like, I'm still worried.
Yeah, it's
Still very much worried.
I mean, I think that the whole process in itself is something to be viewed, and it's definitely something to be respected.
Yeah, it's a nice ceremony for what it is.
Yeah, and it was nice to see a unification of our government a little bit.
I shed a little tear.
Yeah, I
Just
did.
because I think it was more of a nostalgia for me, which is I've only lived through what 4 or 5 presidencies.
Yeah.
But like I think it was just like a sense of normalcy, and it's
Right. Going back to what we've always known.
as far as normal
sure.
as we can be, considering.
And I
what's
think that
going
there is
on.
something to be said for going back to status quo a little bit. Going back to something
Still chaotic.
It's definitely corrupt, definitely fucked up, definitely has areas where things still aren't as clairvoyant as you would want them to be.
Yeah. There's a lot of flashy,
But it's what we know. It's what we've all grown up with.
This is our
and there is
political
some
system.
comfortability with that for sure, especially in light of the chaos that happened at the Capitol.
That was insane.
That was insane.
Absolutely insane.
It was disgusting.
And it gets me because
for those people who thought that was a patriotic move.
it was not patriotic. At all. There's
I think that there are people who felt like doing the same thing as far as inflicting violence and he's gonna kill you.
For those of you listening, he just hit his vape.
no more, I'm sorry. Cut! Hey, edit that out. I'm sorry, continue.
No, but I think that a lot of people just felt like, okay, well, we're gonna come at this situation with the same fury that we felt like other people have demonstrated as far as with like the BLM movement or. And I say that only because I'm privy to some of those conversations with people who do feel like what they did was not right, but they understand why they did it, which I don't. I don't understand how, as a patriot of America, you could look at yourself and go, yeah, I'm going to storm the Capitol and the institution that all democracy stands for.
Because I didn't like the results.
And because I want to throw a fit.
Yeah.
Essentially. Because
like, it's like the biggest sense of entitlement that I've... Like, working in the service industry, we see this shit all the time, entitlement.
It's a sense of entitlement, but I also feel like it's a sense of... It's just a level of stupidity that I can't get over. Because some of these people that... And it's not that I don't feel like there isn't a point to always sit down and talk, but some of these people can't be reasoned with. If their line of logic is to inflict harm on the police officers who are guarding the Capitol.
They killed that man.
Who they have now, who they stood behind during all of the BLM protests. I don't get that.
That
and
was really
if you're
interesting.
able to cherry pick things for your own benefit, then it means that your point isn't valid to me.
Course.
So that part of me is, I mean, yes, it's entitlement, but it's, these people are just, I don't want to say...
That wasn't me.
I know.
It wasn't me.
Oh my god, it wasn't me either.
Definitely you.
What? Okay, let me put my phone on silent.
You are going to get in big trouble, man.
Like this kid's on ground. I don't even know how to turn my phone off now.
Oh my god, turn it off!
Okay.
Anyways, point being is the only point that I was trying to make is that there are some people who definitely can't be reasoned with. And those are the people
I've
who
seen that.
acted upon coming to the Capitol and being in a mob mentality and thinking that was an appropriate thing.
They didn't think they were gonna have repercussions either.
No, they didn't.
What really gets me is like they thought they can just do this shit and like and
what
walk
I mean,
away.
where it's like, yes, it's privilege, but it's also stupidity.
Yeah.
Because what in your right
Like,
fucking
what-
mind would make you think that you're going to be able to do that and you're not going to get shot in the neck?
But what
and
gets
die?
me though is like the fact
come
that they
on.
made it as far as they fucking did. Like I always held the belief like if
Disgusting.
anyone tries to charge
Disgusting.
any kind of
Disgusting.
government facility,
But that is
like shot on
that's
sight.
That's a whole nother issue, right? Of if you knew that the president was making a speech at this rally, why was there not more?
Yeah.
Why was there not more literal people on ground?
Yeah.
I mean,
What was it that time that like when Black Lives Matter said they were going to be at in Washington at the Capitol building, like they had
well, okay, and
littered.
This is my point. Is if you want to hold a rally and you're doing it, and you're gonna do a walk through a park or you're gonna do a demonstration just through the streets, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you're doing a demonstration that is directly adjacent to the Capitol in which they are having these hearings at that specific time, that culmination of information didn't warrant more action, didn't warrant more attention to exactly what was going on, or when it's like that part of it still bothers me because it's like.
Are you saying just like more security and shit like that?
Not security. I'm talking about the police themselves. If you're aware of the fact that there's a demonstration that's happening that closely adjacent to the Capitol at a time when they're making the vote on whether or not they are going to validify these votes in these states, which have already been verified by the states.
Numerous times.
Why was there not more attention to that? You have the president speaking at it.
Yeah.
You have the president's family speaking at it. And there should be attention to both things. There should have been more attention to the BLM protests and what was happening there too.
Yeah.
Because it ultimately ended with a lot of violence at the end of these demonstrations. And they were aware of that. They had to have been aware of it. If they weren't aware of it, then they were ignorant and they were blissfully ignorant to it, meaning that they didn't want to find information about it or they deemed it not worthy of it. Well, they're saying that basically the same thing happened at this demonstration.
Yeah.
You had to have known that in this group of people that there was the possibility of something happening.
Just them getting out of control.
Right. And I'm not for necessarily the police showing up at every demonstration because there might be the possibility, but you have to take into account all of the variables there. It's on a specific day, at a specific time.
Yeah.
They're extremely close. It's a high number of people. You have the president talking to them. You have the president's family talking to them. I mean, it's like did you not think it was going to get hyped up and ultimately result into some kind of violence?
Yeah.
I mean...
It was like 5 people died that day?
I believe so. And a lot of those were police officers that were guarding the Capitol.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about one guy who got beat to death. Beat to death.
Allegedly.
It's horrible.
That was crazy. And
like
you can see that there was the image of him just laying on the ground and people just surrounding him. It was like that was a very frightening image.
Yeah.
Of like there's just like this entire mob and just like that's stuff that you would see in other countries. Like I never expected.
Right. Well, and like the one
like
that got me was the guy at Nancy Pelosi's desk.
With his feet up on the fucking desk.
It's just like, okay, well, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, I'm glad that he had made.
I still can't believe they got that far.
He had made statements like, you know, I'm willing to die. I'm willing to go to prison for the rest of my life over this. Well, that's probably what's going to happen to you. Because they're going to make a point out of you people.
Oh, yeah.
As they rightfully fucking should. Mm-hmm. You had no business doing that. And just because you're in the name of being patriots doesn't mean shit.
Your feelings doesn't justify any of this. Any of your actions whatsoever.
No. And no offense, but when you stormed that building, you should have had a better plan.
Yeah.
If you were really willing to do that, you should have been willing to stay there.
We just want to talk. We just want to talk.
Fortify yourself. Yeah, no, you're not going to... I think their ultimate goal was to disrupt the vote. Mm-hmm. So much so. And that's one of the main things that they were talking about as the insurrection was happening was there's those specific votes go into a chest. Mm-hmm. And then those are locked and they're sealed and then they're voted. If at any point there's contamination within that, the vote is invalid and they have to start it all over again, which I think was their ultimate goal. But it's like,
why?
Did you really think that you were gonna? I mean, what were you gonna keep coming back every time they were gonna do the vote? Did you not think that at some point they wouldn't announce when they were gonna do the vote so that you wouldn't have the upper hand of information? It's just like there was no thought process to it. Which again leads me to think these people are really stupid.
Yeah.
Because how do you have such an ill thought out plan? Like you get there and you all just disperse.
Yeah.
None of you are coordinating. Yeah, you're all just going into random offices.
Like you got one side knocking around the police, the other side is like, oh, these are our friends. Like it's just like chaos, drama. It's just ridiculous.
Right.
And then like ransacking people's offices, taking their mail. Yeah. I think there's still a laptop that's been missing.
Yeah.
There's fucking Pelosi's in it.
But it's like...
Just kidding. I don't...
But it's like, to me, it's just like, okay, these... I understand we should be angry about what happened. And there definitely should be some accountability. But again, the people who you're trying to get... I mean, those people are on the outskirts. You're not going to get them back in. Because there's something not right there.
Yeah.
When you're willing to go that far with a thought process, I have to believe that it's because you've either been pushed too far or I don't know. You never were going to make it. You never were going to make it back to the other side because you're not able to.
I think it's just as simple as, like, they were just fucking riled up. Like,
well, and I do think that for the people who were at the building but didn't go inside.
Yeah.
I do think that. I do think that there was, like, a mob mentality of, like, we're doing this. We're going to storm the palace,
like, oh,
you know. But sensibility kicked in. That frontal cortex kicked in and went... I'm not going to go inside. Yeah. I'm just going to chill out here. Which they were dumb too. Because they were still part of that whole fucking group of people who, when they instituted the curfew, were like, we're fucking leaving. Yeah. You know? Okay, well, that worked out great for you once 9 o'clock hit. Because, man, they started busting some fucking balls on you people.
I didn't see that part.
Oh, that shit was great. I had that shit on my... I was like, woo! They were bringing out the horses and shit. I was like, y'all are about to get fucked up. Those horses,
insane.
like, do not give a fuck. They'll back kick anybody.
The whole situation wasn't handled well, though.
No, it wasn't. It was horribly handled as far as the management from police.
Yeah.
And again, that's it. And I think it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. Again, because it's like, here you had an opportunity to show, especially the black community, that, hey, we treat them the same way that we treat you. And they didn't do it.
No.
Not in a lot of ways. Not in a lot of ways.
Because like they had like, what I want to say, the hose was going, but it wasn't at full blast.
Right. Well, what I want to say is in response to, you know, there were early BLM protests that were not handled the way that they should have been. Like, especially here in Sacramento. You watched K Street get fucked up.
Yeah.
Walking down, I don't know if you went down there.
No, I didn't go down there.
After it was all done. It was horrible. You're talking, I mean, and again, love K Street, but it's like half abandoned buildings and then half like stores.
Nobody's on K Street.
Yeah,
because
around there.
Yeah,
K rhymes with gay.
Close.
K gay. Does K rhyme with gay?
It's like right on the corner. Isn't
I think it's
K gay.
I think it's J.
J Street. J gay.
Oh, J Street's where all the other like, all the other gay bars are. You have that like Foursquare.
It was like right around there.
Whatever. I still don't know how to get down there. Get around.
I think K's more like where like Pizza Rock and IMAX.
Oh, where we went that one. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
got it.
But like, you know, it's
IMAX
just
over there.
Yeah. You know that? You get the crust cedar down there too.
I was drunk most of the time.
But
that's my excuse for everything else.
But like those buildings got fucked up. There was no police response to any of the rioting that was happening because they didn't deem it, I guess, I don't know, worthy of the attention, or there at least wasn't enough attention to garner any news about it.
Yeah.
Like if you're picking up 10 people out of 1,000 people that are doing it, it's not gonna be. It's not doing anything. Yeah. So when they didn't show a presence to that to me angers me. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't. I don't care what the fuck you're doing it in the name of.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Let me say that outright. I don't give a fuck what you're doing it in the name of. You do not have the right to cause physical harm to anyone or to anybody's shit.
Yeah. I'm real particular about my shit too, honestly.
That shit bothers me because it's anarchy and I'm not fucking for it. Because when you stop having rules, we stop being able to have a fucking conversation.
I kind of like anarchy. Anarchy! Anarchy! No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
But it is. But it's like, okay, when that's okay because you're upset, then it's okay for me to do it when I'm upset. Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's not okay. So it angers you more. So then you do more shit.
Yeah.
No vicious fucking cycle.
No.
It'll never fucking end until everybody's lost everything, and then you both have to look at each other.
I think that's the one thing people don't want to talk about though, like the fact that like They want to say like yes their whole responses and what they were fighting for were completely different, and granted like the peaceful protests of the Black Lives Matter movement, they were beautiful, they were gorgeous, but like when that violence like descended, like that's when it kind of just lost.
Well, it lost its steam, like, because. And those people are fucked up.
And I still support Black
How many
Lives
of
Matter.
those people that were involved in the riots do you think really cared about the BLM?
I don't think anyone that was rioting during the Black Lives Matter riot had like any part of Black Lives Matter.
And I don't think they cared about it.
Yeah,
this is the point that I'm trying to make. And they didn't give a fuck that they were pulling the rug out from underneath that movement to some degree.
I mean, you can argue that like maybe that was their intent. Was to discredit.
It could have been.
I mean, because if anything, it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily, because there's still like it's like with anything though. Like you have your supporters and you have you people that don't.
It did.
And then it's like, I mean,
but the issue that I had with this whole movement was that you didn't have that. You didn't have a peaceful.
Yeah, they didn't have a stance.
You didn't have a peaceful protest, and then had some hooligans on the fucking outskirts that were like causing all this shit.
Like no, they all went in.
You all showed up to the Capitol and were ranting and raving. You want to picket outside, if you want to do a protest outside, that's fine. But you don't get to go up to the doors and fucking scream and pound and intimidate the police officers. Like, before they even broke into the office, what they were doing was fucked up. Mm-hmm. Just, I don't know. I had a hard time. Because when I hear people and they're like, well, I understand why they did it.
No.
It's like, no, I don't.
No, because they went too far.
I understand the reasons why they feel upset. Mm-hmm. I can understand the frustration that you may have because you believe that there's voter fraud. Mm-hmm. I get it. I mean, I get the frustration of not believing your government. Mm-hmm. But that is a 7 ways to fucking bake Kevin Bacon to get to the point where you're fucking breaking into the Capitol. I mean, come on. It's
that's
like...
a new one.
Well, it's just like, you can't there's no way. It's not a strong leg to stand on, and no one's gonna fucking believe you. And they shouldn't, because it's a bullshit argument to make. Yeah. Well, I'm mad and I want to throw a fit.
You can't even talk about that with anyone like outside of your circle. Like you can't even like, oh yeah, I was at the Capitol, I stormed the Capitol. And like no, like that's like that. It's embarrassing, and I hope they're ashamed of what they did.
And that's why you have kids that are like turning in their parents. You know, like they just had a son turned in his father.
Damn.
Like not that long ago, like a couple days ago.
Would you turn in your mom?
Fuck yeah, I would. Yeah.
Pamela wouldn't be out there, I give you that. She knows.
I love my mom. My mom wouldn't be dumb enough to do some shit either like that. But if she did, you're damn right I would. Like, I'd have no problem.
Dang.
If I felt like she had engaged in something that was that horrendous.
I couldn't turn my mom in.
I love my mom,
I'm
but...
more afraid of what my mom would do if I turned. Girl, she'll find some way. I love my mom, but she'll force to be reckoned with, child.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
it.
But
it wasn't right, honestly.
No, it wasn't.
Speaking of hypotheticals.
It was gross. And I wished it then, and I still wish it now. I hope the people that were found inside of that Capitol building are prosecuted as domestic terrorists. That's what you are. That's what you are.
It's literally.
You don't get to do that and then not have repercussions. And you should have some of the steepest ones because it's one of the dumbest things I've ever witnessed. And why the fuck National Guard wasn't out there fucking these people up? I don't know. They should have been. Should not have taken them until 9 o'clock to start really busting fucking heads together, which was great when they did start doing it.
But it
shouldn't have taken that long.
Took too long.
All the motherfuckers who were up there and didn't want to listen to reason should have gotten their fucking asses handed to them. Because it's what they deserve. When you got a kid who's misbehaving, what are you going to do? You going to sit and talk calmly to them, try to get them to reason with you? No. You're going to spank that fucking ass. You're going to spank that ass. That's what you're going to do. What you do? You're going to spank that ass.
What happened? You stupid.
That fucking belt out, fucking double it up.
Oh my gosh. No. So how do you feel about the new presidency? Let it all. Let me start first because I know because I'm gonna be all rainbow and roses and shit.
Yeah,
and
I'm all
be like
Debbie Downer.
Anyway, I mean honestly, okay, like I've lived long enough to know like politics is bullshit, but like I do have like a little sliver of hope in the government, and I don't put all my eggs in one basket, and I'm not looking for them to fix all the issues, but it does give me hope that we're moving in somewhat of a decent direction to like one day, hopefully, if not his presidency and not the next presidency, that someone would lay an infrastructure that could kind of universally fix a lot of the issues that they have in this country. Like for one, universal health care. Like that's one of the main.
Yeah.
Honestly, the one thing that I kind of want from any presidency is like universal health care, because I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that you have to pay a fucking premium to make sure you don't fucking die every month. Can
I ask you a question about universal health care?
What is it?
What universal health care model are you trying to
see? And that's the thing. I have to look more into it because I've been seeing like different countries and like their grievances and with it and whatnot, and like. When, like as far as like Canada is the one that everyone always talks about.
Canada's great.
But like I know that's also the issue with like.
But then you have Europe's, and that can be shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say like Canada's great, but there are benefits and downfalls to.
But why do they continue to do it and like are somewhat able to maintain it? Because I get it. Like there's some issues with it, but like I'm pretty sure they would prefer that system than like a privatized healthcare system. Excuse me.
My thing has always been universal health care with PPOs that are also available.
Explain what PPO.
Personal protection, something I think is what it stands for. It's basically just my model, which I've always thought would be great, was you have a universal healthcare system where anybody, no
like
matter
a base.
Yeah, right, no matter who you are. You can get seen by a doctor. You can, if there are emergent services that need to be rendered, they'll be rendered for you. But let's say you have cancer, okay? If you have universal health care, we're only going to cover, like one course of treatment for you. Oh. We'll do chemotherapy for you, or we'll try a surgery for you if that's available. But you get one. You get one shot at it.
Fair enough.
Now, if you want to continue your care, that needs to come out of your pocket where you're able to get a PPO.
Is it subsidized in any way?
Perhaps. But if you make money, you should be paying for your own health care.
So what about people that can't afford the cancer treatment? What would they do then in your model?
Then they would have care underneath their own, underneath subsidized health care. They would continue to get treatment.
Fair enough.
Until they either ultimately died or went into remission.
Damn.
Oh, come on. That's just how the world turns, though.
No.
It's sad. But see, this is where I lose it with people. Because it's like, everybody fucking dies, okay? This is where I get it with fucking vegans, too. Where it's like, the world isn't gonna fucking live off of soybeans, okay?
I like soybeans.
Yeah, they're great. But you ain't gonna fucking live off of it. You ain't gonna prosper.
Yeah.
You're not. You need meat. The only way that we sustain a society of 360 fucking million people is by feeding them meat. Jesus fucking Christ. You know how many fucking soybean farms you would have to have in order to feed everybody in America a soybean fucking burger?
It would have to.
They would be everywhere.
They would be.
You would have nothing else but fucking soybean farms. Like
2040.
fucking soybean.
Everywhere.
But it's like, this is where I lose it. It's like, yes, it would be great if everybody could have the best healthcare ever. But that's should land. You're not living in the real world.
And I think that's me, because honestly, I do have this hero complex.
Yeah.
About healthcare. I'm like, you gotta save everybody.
And there's
do everything you can to help those people.
And there's nothing bad with keeping that in mind and always trying to make revisions that move you a little bit closer to that and a little bit closer to that. But you have to also understand that there's always going to be restrictions. And until you fix the tax issue in our fucking country.
What you talking?
Were you talking about you have multi-million-dollar companies that are allowed to be out of the country, but then sell products here in America where we are the number one consumers. But they're not based here, so they don't have to pay taxes here. And then you're talking about multi-billionaires that are able to use loophole after loophole where, their tax bracket would initially be at like a 47%. But after every contribution that they've made to charity or after every tax loophole of moving their money to the Cayman Islands, they're being taxed at a 3% rate. 3%, which don't get me wrong, 3% of $1 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's not what they should be fucking paying. And instead,
damn,
you have people like me, my husband, or any other middle class person who makes anywhere between $35,000 and $50,000 getting taxed at a 20% rate.
Oh, that's 25.
20 fucking percent of what I make goes back to Uncle Sam.
And they only get taxed at 3%.
And they get taxed at 3%. Now, don't get me wrong. They and you know what they'll say is we pay millions of dollars in taxes. You're right.
But they keep more than money than we do.
You do. You pay more. But when you're talking about ratio to what I make versus what I pay and what you make versus what you pay, it's fucking pennies. Pennies. And that shit's fucking disgusting. You also have how many companies that leave here because of the insane restrictions that we have on like manufacturing. Like one of the biggest issues, like why Apple? So Apple designs all of their stuff here.
Yeah.
Then they ship everything to China.
What?
Where it's made there, then shipped back and sold here. Because it's cheaper to do that. It's cheaper to send all their fucking shit over to China. Just have it sit there, get made, and then bring it the fuck back and pay export fucking fees than it is to make this shit here. Because they have to pay all the workers hazard pay.
Yeah.
They have to have how many fucking OSHA rules and OSHA restrictions. So they just fucking...
That's what really bums me out. Because, like, we have all this shit in place for like, our benefits. And, like, they just find some way to skirt around it. Like, for instance, like giving us benefits to the company. Like, most server jobs or most companies will... If you work, on average, 30 hours a week for an entire year... They'll give you health benefits. Yeah. But because of that, most employees will never average 30 hours a week. Yep. And it's just like there's these things. That's what infuriates me. It's just like I just get pushed. I'm like
this is the issue with a capitalistic economy that to me I think people don't understand the power in which you hold. Yeah. Okay. Oh. And this is where businesses too, where it's like you could if you could create a model in a restaurant where you do offer that right off the bat. Okay. How many people do you think would leave there and come to you if that you could prove within a 5 years status that you're a sustainable company, you've made a profit, and you can offer this to your employees? If you were an Olive Garden that was able to offer, bleep that out. If you're able to offer X amount of hours guaranteed a week, we'll give you health benefits after 3 months. Yeah. You have investment in the company. Ooh. And
that's fun.
Yeah. How many people do you think would leave Olive Garden like that? Bleep.
Or leave Olive? I thought you said Olive Garden offered that.
No, I'm saying you have your own.
Oh yeah.
How many people do you think would be like? Fuck this place, I'm out.
I would have people knocking down the door.
Okay, well that's a capitalist economy. Except what you have are these monopolies. You have Darden that owns, again, bleep, how many different restaurant companies? Like 10?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you've got,
Landry's is ridiculous.
This is what I mean. So it's like
over 200 concepts.
They all get together. All of these spearheads, all these dragon heads, all get together, and they speak with legislators, and they make the rules. It's just all rigged, and they're all in the pockets and in beds with each other. That's why the government and your economy are so unbelievably fucking intertwined.
So how do we get around this? What do we start doing at this point? Because
you have to start really. I mean, for me, it's taking the time to try to find really as most as you can unbiased information about the people in which you're voting for. And this is what I'll say for all of the people who felt like 2016 was a betrayal to the government. Yeah. For all the people who felt like 2020 was a betrayal to the people. It starts with you. If you're only voting in your presidential election, you need to rethink your process. Start with your backyard and expand your horizons from there. There's no way you're going to understand the workings or why your presidential, candidates are doing what they're doing. Yeah. If you don't understand what's happening in your state, in your city, in your county. So get to know those people.
I started following people on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard that's where it's hard.
So and it's like time.
You could spend hours a day just investigating and honing up on who certain people are. And they're lying to you all the time. I mean, that's their fucking job as politicians, is to lie to you and to tell you, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, without ever having the actual authority to say those things, because it takes you and how many different other negotiations for you to get to that spot, because that's how our government is built, with literally a bunch of red tape.
You have to give and take, you have to barter. That really disturbs me too, though. That we just have a system of people making decisions for us. I hate the fact that we still have a one president system. It's all trial and error too.
Why isn't there a council of people where they're voting on it? I mean, to me that always seemed more,
especially with a country this big.
Right. And again, why is there,
I never thought about
why
that.
is there only 2 parties? Why?
Who are you yelling at?
I don't know, people.
Wake up, America!
But why? Why is there only 2 parties? Jesus. Why can you only vote Democrat or Republican and have your vote actually fucking mean something? Yeah. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. When is somebody good gonna actually run on a That's the other thing. You gotta talk about fucking campaign fucking reform. Because, oh my God, the fucking bullshit money that these super PACs are allowed to give where personal people are not is fucking bullshit.
That is crazy.
Because you know what? If you're a super PAC, you can give millions of fucking dollars. These are corporations, mind you. That's where super PACs come from. Corporations.
What?
Okay? Personal person, I think, can only give $1,800 or some shit to a campaign. That's the max you can give. So if Bill Gates really likes somebody, why shouldn't he be able to bankroll his entire fucking campaign? If Bill Gates finds somebody and he's like, you know what, I really like you, I want you to run for fucking president, so here's $300 million. And
he can't do that.
He can't do it.
So how do the super PACs get away with it?
I don't know. I need to fucking hone up. There's a whole bunch of logistical or legislative bullshit that goes into super PACs, but they're disgusting, and that's why you hear people talk about them all the time.
I notice a lot of candidates that have super PACs that that's a red flag to people.
A lot of the GOP will have super PAC money. I mean, GOP, the DNC, they all have super PAC money.
They're all dirty.
But they're all in bed with fucking... But that's what I mean. That's where you get lobbyists and legislators and lobbyists are the real fucktards and all of that, because they're wannabe government workers that are bought by corporations to go sell their shit to...
So Lobbyists, thank you for saying it. Lobbyists are basically the puppets of the corporations.
Yeah, they're paid handsome amounts of money to make the spiel sound
Is that an actual position, or that what they just...
Oh my god. No, that's an actual position. Fuck? They make a lot of money. It's the biggest ones you'll hear about are tobacco lobbyists, right? Because they're the ones that are constantly going to the GOP and saying, look, we'll give you $100 million if you fucking... make yada yada illegal. Because now they're shifting their market, and they've invested all their money into vaping, into these pouches, and that's why you're seeing even more the encroachment on tobacco. The lobbyists and the companies are changing their SKU. They now know that you can't get away with just selling tobacco because nobody wants it anymore. I mean, how many kids do you now know that are like coming up and are smoking actual cigarettes? It's all about the vapes, right? So the companies are shifting their focus onto vapes. So they're like, fine, let's make like here in this state is a great example of it. It is now illegal in the county of Sacramento. I think it might even be in the state. You can't buy menthol.
What? Yeah. No, because I bought menthol a couple weeks ago.
County of Sacramento, I don't believe you can buy menthol cigarettes.
That 7-Eleven up the street still fucking sell menthols. Girl, you better check that. Like, what does it go into effect at a certain time? Menthol I haven't bought any cigarettes this year though, so it could be for 2021.
California approves ban on menthol cigarettes. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
A new law makes it second state in the nation to prohibit sales of Newports and other minty smokes over protests from tobacco companies. California has banned Newports and other menthol cigarettes following a similar measure approved in Massachusetts last year.
That's actually pretty big.
This was in August 28th of last year.
What?
So, yeah. Menthol cigarettes have long been on policymakers' radar. Menthols are harder to quit.
Now, was that lobbied, or do you think that's just
that was for sure lobbied. Yeah.
By the vape companies, or because Marlboro has everyone has menthols.
Well, I think that the cigarette company probably put up a fight to it, a protest to it, because it's what they sell, especially when you're talking about Newport. Mm-hmm. But again, who do you think is targeting that? I mean, what does that reek to you?
Marijuana.
Reeks to me of black communities.
Oh, I was gonna say.
When you're talking about menthol cigarettes,
I didn't want to say.
Yeah, but who's fucking smoking menthols? Yeah, black people love the menthol. I'm not gonna get you wrong. The way that I got started smoking was off of fucking Liggett's
when I was a
menthols.
kid, I just remember it was heavily marketed in my neighborhood. It's
and
all over Camels.
I always fucking laughed because Newports are a white person from Connecticut cigarette. That's Newport, Connecticut. That's why they're called fucking Newports. They are like, the fucking ads for Newports used to be like, a white girl in a convertible.
On the yacht.
Smoking my Newport. Yeah, it's like, but who really is smoking them is fucking your local fucking drug dealer who's standing on the fucking corner selling them singles. Because that's how I used to get them.
Oh, wow.
You never did that?
No.
Singles?
Some dodgy clubs.
Yeah.
But we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. That's how I used to get my fucking weed back in the day. That's how I used to do it. So for all of you that don't know, back in the day, because he didn't want to be conspicuous, he never had bags of weed on him. Yeah. So he'd get a fucking filtered cigarette and he'd roll it, he'd roll all the tobacco out and fucking fill it with weed, and he'd buy those for $5 a pop. You call them singles. That's how we got it.
Fair enough. Yeah. What were we talking about?
I don't know, we were talking about the menthol ban. But anyways,
we were talking about lobbyists.
Lobbyists. But yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
There's some scrupulous people. They do fucked up things. I'm sure that some of them feel like they're doing it in the name of something.
Yeah. Everyone believes in something.
Yeah.
Whether
it's the money or the power.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
It was the convictions that people carry in their beliefs. It was a terrible driving force. And that's how you get people that storm the fucking Capitol.
Sure.
What are you talking about?
And you people gotta stop talking in fucking echo chambers too. You gotta be open to talking with other fucking people, because I think that's how you see the faults in your own vision, in your own ways of thinking.
That's where we need to start. Honestly, is we need to stop bitching at each other, and we need to come together and you
need to sit and bitch with each other instead of bitching at each other.
Everyone come together and sit and bitch.
Yeah, come on.
You get in here and sit and bitch. Just sit with your friends, and you'll find that you have a lot of the same issues and the same concerns. And
whether your grandmama, your granddaddy,
Now, if you're racist, then fuck you.
Well, hey,
I don't want to sit with you. I don't.
See that,
girl, bye.
But this is where I stand. Have you There's a Joe Rogan podcast that's actually really good with you should. He's got some good shit. But there's always doors to be opened, and you can't just write somebody off because now they don't match what you want them to. There's always a possibility. People can always change, and that has to be the outlook. Otherwise, you're always looking for a reason for somebody
enough
to go, oh, okay, well, you're a piece of shit. You know, okay, well, people can always change. People can always evolve. They really can. And certain shit happens to you that expedites that process
but
sometimes.
y'all don't want to fucking wait.
Hey, but that also doesn't mean that in the time where they're being...
You have to put up with it?
You don't.
You don't
you don't have to listen to shit, or you at least don't have to believe things that aren't truthful.
Yeah.
I mean, let them do that themselves.
Fair enough.
People will see their true colors in due time.
I love it.
All right.
I love you.
Love you.
I love you. Au revoir.
Until next time.
Incorrection.
You wanna sit and bitch? Then have a seat on Sit Bitch. Bitch.
You don't want to listen to
I don't
it?
watch them. I don't like
You don't watch... You better watch them for the fucking views.
I mean, I'll let it play, but I don't listen to it. I
that's fine.
don't like myself on camera. I gotta pee.
Why do you have to pee so much?